And tonight at 6, we are tracking the potential for severe weather across central Indiana.
So what you're looking at right here is live Doppler 13 radar. And these storms that you see to the west are expected to bring high winds and rain here to central Indiana. And that's why our weather team has made it the designation to make today an impact alert day. And Angela's been tracking it for days now and joins us now with the latest timeline.
Yeah, and unfortunately, the latest timeline is within the next half hour for the western part of the state. And unfortunately, confirmed tornado warning just across the state line in eastern Illinois. That's the purple box that you see. So I'm giving you a heads up. This storm is moving at 50 miles per hour to the northeast. It is just across the state line. So Vermilion County, Northern Park, Southern Fountain, portions of Montgomery County, you need to stay with us and be prepared to take shelter. That is a confirmed tornado warning just across the state line. And there is where it will go over the next hour as it moves to the northeast at 50 miles per hour. Move across parts of Vermilion County into perhaps Northern Park and the southern half of Fountain County. Weather impact alert due to that risk of tornadoes, 60+ mile per hour wind gusts. Know your safety plan for the next several hours and have several ways to get those warnings. Future Track 13 showing those cells crossing the state line between now and 7 p.m. with additional storm development for the central part of the state between 7 and 9. This should all move out by about midnight, but it could be rough for us the next several hours.
Thank you, Angela. We'll keep an eye on it. And you can do that too by having the WTHR weather app. That will alert you to any changes in the forecast. If you don't have it, go get it. It is a free download and you can find it in your phone's app store.
Tonight at 6, a student in Morgan County faces real-world consequences after allegedly making threats on social media.
Our Karen Campbell today spoke with experts about the role that social media plays in teen conflicts and how parents can help and step in before things escalate.
A social media threat allegedly made by a Martinsville high school student delayed dismissal Tuesday for hundreds of students. According to school leaders, in a Facebook post, a tip came from an investigation from the FBI, and students involved have been identified and are in police custody. Leaders say the threat stemmed from a, quote, girl-boy situation and not an active planned school-wide shooting. Experts say teens need to understand that making online threats can have serious repercussions.
Even if you delete it, there are, people screenshot, things get sent and reported. And, making threats towards anyone is going to be met with a consequence because we want to make sure that everyone is being safe.
Christina Ladd is a licensed mental health professional at Riley Hospital for Children. According to Pew Research Center, many teens are on social media daily, if not constantly.
And so there's a long list of actions that teens are regularly engaging in.
Mark Bergman is with the Organization for Social Media Safety, focusing on education, advocacy, and technology. He says research suggests cyberbullying is a growing concern.
I've had school counselors say this to me in tiers across the country. There's no more safe space, safe place for our teens and tweens. Cyberbullying is a 24/7 event sometimes.
Berkman and Ladd recommend parents monitor their child's social media use and talk to them about responsible posting.
Just talk openly about what their kids are viewing, what they're hearing from other folks, and how they're understanding what it is that is being presented to them.
Martinsville school leaders say they plan to seek legal action against students involved and through the school's discipline policies. Karen Campbell, 13 News.
Berkman says the Organization for Social Media Safety has a full list of interventions and resources for parents. We'll post that link with this story on WTHR.com.
Tonight, 7 men are under arrest after police say they raided several homes all across the Indianapolis area.
And IMPD is telling us this follows a month-long investigation. Police tell us they found 7 guns, several pounds of drugs, including cocaine and narcotic pills, along with more than $18,000 in cash.
IMPD says the investigation was also tied to several violent crimes around the city.
Tonight at 6, people over in Hawville are looking for answers after another community building was vandalized, this time in broad daylight. All of this comes as Hawville leaders are fighting against the act of vandalism popping up in that area.
Today, our Marina Silva spoke with the pastor as volunteers came and helped clean up the church today.
The graffiti is cleaned up here at Friendship Missionary Baptist Church, and now the focus turns to who did this and why. Dedicated church members picked up the power washer and Goo Gone to get most of this graffiti off the church building and the church's bus. On Tuesday evening, Pastor Ronald Covington got a call from a church member telling him someone vandalized the church, spray painting profanities and symbols on church property. It happened sometime late Tuesday afternoon. Pastor Covington says he doesn't understand why someone would deface his community's place of worship.
Why somebody would do this and in broad daylight. I guess that's was what really was surprising. It showed that they didn't care and bold, arrogant, to do something like this and just taking a chance for anybody to see them.
Pastor Covington told me they're going to continue to pray for the people that did this. They also plan to continue their normal operations and events like Bible study tonight at 7. Reporting in Indianapolis, Marina Silva, 13 News.
Funeral arrangements were just announced for a former HSC football player who died in a crash earlier this month.
Family and friends are gathering next week to celebrate the life of Mason Alexander, and they're inviting you to join.
The services are next Tuesday, and they're at the Fishers Event Center. A visitation is scheduled from 9 in the morning until noon. The celebration of life then is scheduled to begin shortly after.